Well, guess what? We don't need to tell you what he said because he's sitting here next to me right now. Congressman Tom Emmer from Minnesota playing the role, apparently, of Tim Walz. All right, so you're in town for the debate tomorrow night in New York City. How has prep been going? Let's start with that. And how does it work? Like, do you come out with surprise comments? How do you channel Tim Walz?
Well, my job, and thanks for having me, Katrina, my job was to be Tim Walz, which I spent the better part of a month, our team, myself, watching every debate he's ever done. He is very good at this debate stuff. He never gives you any substance, but he's really quick about making up numbers, and he lies with conviction, so you just accept it and move on. And this idea that they're going to fact check each other, it's going to be very interesting. We're lucky because JD is ready to go. Anyway, my job was to beat Tim Walz. So when you asked what I was doing, I learned his mannerisms. I learned his slogans, how he's going to go and attack and how he's going to try and deflect. And I even put the uniform on.
Wow. Real method acting stuff here, sounds like.
Well, it was good because I think JD got to see firsthand exactly what he's going to be dealing with tomorrow night. And look, JD, I don't have to tell JD what to do. He just needed to see what it is he's going to be debating. Tim Walz, you might have heard me say, the hardest part of playing Tim Walz is to learn how to lie with a straight face. Tim Walz is not who he portrays himself to be. He comes across as this folksy, outdoors, family type guy. Once you get to know him and his policies, people don't like him. He's as radical, in fact, in some cases more than Kamala Harris. This is a guy who wants Minnesota to be a sanctuary state. This is a guy who wants to give illegals health care, wants to give them college education. What about our kids? Yeah. I mean, he does everything and more that Kamala Harris does. But JD, his job will be just to stay on his message, which is Donald Trump fixed the economy once, he'll do it again. He fixed the border once, he'll do it again. Got crime under control, he'll do it again. And he will make us safe here and around the globe.
It helps when you have facts to stand on. I also love how you called him Gavin Newsom in a flannel shirt. But I want to get to this because the debate rules, of course, are a thing. You mentioned how the candidates will be able to fact check each other. Here are the major rules: 90 minutes of debate time, 2 breaks of 4 minutes each. No audience. I'm going to read them to you. No audience. 2 minutes for closing statements. A virtual coin toss was held on September 26. Vance won and elected to go second with his closing statement. Of course, no props, no pre-written notes. You'll get a pen, bottle of water. Campaign staff, this is interesting, may not interact with candidates during the break. So my quick question there in terms of fact-checking each other. As you said, you expect Governor Walz to come out with all sorts of numbers and statistics and things that you say will likely be untrue. How can Mr. Vance come out and say something about a lie? Like what is his strategy to be able to allow the American public to see through the falsities?
Again, I'm not going to put words in JD's mouth. JD will do this very well, but I expect that Tim Walz would do things like, do you think we're better off today than we were 4 years ago?
Sure.
He's going to say, absolutely. Donald Trump left this country in crisis. We had the worst economy since the Depression. Obviously, doesn't point out the pandemic, right? Didn't have a plan to resolve COVID or defeat COVID. In fact, Trump put us on path to get COVID under control, and Harris and Biden took credit for it. And then the border, he'll talk about the attack on our democracy, the worst attack since the Civil War. And JD, I believe, will deflect by saying to him, or answer him by saying, sir, because of your incompetent leadership, Minneapolis burned to the ground, right? And then he'll turn to talk about the economy under a Donald Trump presidency, the border under a Donald Trump presidency.
JD Vance has